This morning, I chaired a meeting of the National Security Council on the situation in Libya. The latest information is that the vast majority of Tripoli is now controlled by free Libyan forces, although fighting continues and some of it is extremely fierce. We have no confirmation of Gaddafi's whereabouts, but at least 2 of Gaddafi's sons have been detained. His regime is falling apart and is in full retreat. Gaddafi must stop fighting without conditions and clearly show that he has given up any claim to control Libya. As for his future, that should be a decision for Chairman Jalil and the new Libyan authorities. The situation in Tripoli is clearly very fluid and there is absolutely no room for complacency. Our task now is to do all we can to support the will of the Libyan people, which is for an effective transition to a free, democratic and inclusive Libya. This will be, and must be, and should be, Libyan-led and a Libyan-owned process with broad international support coordinated by the United Nations. I'm in close contact with partners from NATO, the Arab League and Chairman Jalil himself. Clearly, the immediate priority today is to establish security in Tripoli. We are working closely with the NTC to support their plans to make sure that happens. I spoke to Chairman Jalil last week and will be speaking to him again today to agree with him the importance of respecting human rights, avoiding reprisals, and making sure that all parts of Libya can share in the future of that country. And the wider NATO mission, which is to protect civilians, that will continue for as long as is needed. This morning, the National Security Council also discussed the work that needs to be done on medical supplies and humanitarian aid, on diplomatic efforts, and on our work at the UN Security Council. Let me say a word about each. First, on the need to support the medical facilities in Tripoli. We've already deployed medical supplies close to where they're needed and have now released them to the World Health Organization. In the coming days, it will be important to make sure that the communications networks, the electricity, the power supplies, fuel and water are maintained or repaired where they need to be. The National Transitional Council have been planning for this for months, and we have been helping with that work. Diplomatically, we have a strong mission already in Benghazi, consisting of Foreign Office, military and aid specialists, and we will establish a British diplomatic presence in Tripoli as soon as it is safe to do so. This will include stabilisation experts who've been planning for this moment with the NTC for months. At the United Nations, we will also be taking early action in the Security Council to give the new Libyan authorities the legal, diplomatic, political and financial support they require. We will soon be able to release the frozen assets that belong to the Libyan people. The Foreign Secretary is returning to the UK, and with the Deputy Prime Minister, the Defence Secretary and the Development Secretary, they will coordinate our efforts with the NTC in the weeks ahead.